Go over here real fast because I have one extra. Hey, Tate!
Just waiting for a few people to get in here. I got something planned. Trouble to cause. Chris Riley. A maximum of 5 minutes. That's it. Hello, hello, hello. All right. So here's the bench. I'm going to be chilling right here. Talking right there. So I have some unusual things to say. Y'all can see me chilling in the reflection, right? Right, yeah. All right. The title of the stream is so pretentious, yeah. Unless I'm right. If I'm right, it's not pretentious at all. It's accuracy and necessary and relevant. Pretentious is when you shit on me. Pretentious is when you are making assumptions and you're trying to convince. I'm not trying to do either. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so why am I choosing this shit? Y'all hear me okay? Wow, there's already almost 100 people in here. There's other streams going on, but there's no cops going on, so here's where I'm going to diverge a little bit from the main group, okay? So gosh, I guess I'll begin. And I'll try to be monitoring the comments. Now, just so that you don't waste your time if you're not interested in the material I'm bringing, to give you a summary of what this is all going to be about, probably over the next half hour, is I'm going to differentiate my opinions of what is effective and what isn't when it comes to quote unquote law, when it comes to things like constitutions and Supreme Courts and presidents and judges and politicians and all that. And the reason why I feel this is worth my time and necessary is because, you know, within the group of people who point cameras at authority, there are many, 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 many different positions and opinions. Having discussed the matter thoroughly over the past 5 days with many others, local and non-local, I've kind of come to the conclusion that most people's opinions are based on what they heard from someone else that sounded best to them, and that the information they were exposed to, that was made available to them, was limited, and they're simply going with what they feel is the best option. And I get that. I did that. You know, everybody does that. That's human, right? I did that until I found something that was far, far better than what most people stop on. Now, some of you are not going to like what I have to say. Some of you are going to be greatly offended by what I have to say. Some of you are going to want to auto-dismiss it because you've invested so much time and energy into your current beliefs, and you feel that if you were to just switch them drastically, all of that would be wasted time and energy, and that you would look like a fool for doing so and for following nonsense all along. Gosh, I don't know how to say this other than I don't mind if you're offended. I'm getting too many subs as it is. I wouldn't mind having a little less, fewer subs, right? So if you want to unsubscribe to me because you don't like what I'm about to say, then by all means, no harm, no foul, right? We can part as friends. It's all good. All right. So within this group, there's a variety of demographics, obviously. And within this group, there's a variety of intellectual capabilities, social skills. There's a variety of certainty, confidence levels, just every category under the sun, right? There's a variety. I feel that based on the results of my efforts and factual evidence, that what I'm saying is the most effective and the most truthful. And I know those are really bold claims, and I'm not trying to get an ego involved in here. I will defend them. All right, so let me just dip right into the deep end of the pool, and here we go. I don't like the Constitution. I really don't like the Constitution. I could write a better Constitution with half of my brain tied behind my back. All right? I don't understand how anyone else can like the Constitution, given the fact that when you dig as to what these barbarians are using to justify their violence with, they pin it all back to the Constitution. How on earth can you like a document that your opponents, your enemies even, use to justify their oppression of you? Why would you do that? Why can't you have the confidence to go, hey, maybe some new ideas in the 21st century are what should be implemented instead of clinging to ones from the 18th century by slave owners? People just gloss over that. Slave owners. If the founding fathers are so great, what the fuck was George Washington doing during the Whiskey Rebellion? So let me be more specific. The Constitution, nobody has defined it or examined it better than someone named Lysander Spooner, who lived in roughly the early to mid 1800s. He writes a document called the Constitution of No Authority. I'm not going to try and better that. I could never. I will just humbly summarize by saying that the Constitution is not even designed or claiming to be something binding to you through politicians and further rules written later down the road. All right. I don't believe that rights exist. I think that anybody who claims that their rights are being violated is only partially red-pilled, and they're probably doing it because so many people out there agree. And it's nice to be part of a naturally larger group than to be so isolated. Even if isolation is the price of truth, some choose partial truth, so they don't have to be isolated. I believe that the word rights is just an illusion word used to indoctrinate people, to sell them on the idea that under certain circumstances, the men with guns who rule over your particular territory will leave you alone or will provide you for something, with something. And I think both concepts are childish. I mean, not juvenile, not immature, downright childish. Now, I'm not saying that people who believe in rights or have been using that word are children, or that they as a whole are childish. I'm not saying that. That would be silly. I'm saying that idea is childishness. No one, as scary as this sounds, Mr. and Mrs. Statist, if you're listening, no one can protect you except you. No one. If you can't protect yourself, no one else is going to do it for you. And any attempt to sell you on the idea that you are is only temporary and at the permission of men with guns. Constitutional rights don't exist. It's part of the salesmanship. The fact that I have to say this, I find hilarious. go down the Bill of Rights, they even call it the Bill of Rights, and count up how many you actually have if you point cameras at authority. All right, so I'm starting with the big, and I'll work my way down to the more specific, okay? I don't believe that winning through the courts is an effective way to win. I don't believe that judges are actually judges or police are actually police. I don't believe in the justice system whatsoever because it's so obviously run by corrupt, legalized criminals. It's just blatantly obvious to anyone who isn't coerced by it or who is benefiting from it to a degree that they will just abandon all attempts at truth and just agree with the Holy Book because the Holy Book says that the Holy Book applies to them and everyone else. I am tired of having to ghost. I'm tired of having to allow people to just say, oh yeah, hey, this is the way to do it. Yeah, I got real slick in law and we got to make sure to keep this charge out, but then just fight this one and that's how you win. No, 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 no. Nope, 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 nope. Sorry. There is no win when you participate unless you're being steamrolled through violent threat and that threat is made clear. There is no win in participating within the justice system. Even Batusai, who won Turner versus Turner v. Driver, right? How much of a win is that here in Leon Valley? It's not applicable here. They're not obeying it here. What power does it have? It has power with those who will abide by it, those with guns who will abide by it. I mean, I'm not disrespecting it. God knows I'm not disrespecting it. And I have mad respect for it because of the amount of exposure it has given to the cop watching community and the amount of effort that it took and hard work and long months and months and months. So I'm not dissing on it at all. I'm just saying anything that goes through the current justice system is ultimately still up to the local men with guns. Yeah, you may sue them. Yeah, you may get a lawsuit. Yeah, somebody may get some money. But all the money is in a lawsuit is a payoff. It's just a payoff bribe to shut you up while you sign this non-disclosure statement that you won't sue them anymore, and this is the totality of your damages. People who win lawsuits are being paid to shut up. Then they don't have to go to a jury. Then they don't get to tell their story to a jury, and the jury has to actually find the government guilty and force them to admit guilt. Quite often, that's what a settlement hearing, pretrial settlement is. It's a bribe. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, you won. Good job. Well, okay, that's one way to look at it. Maybe it is at some level. But you also accepted a bribe to shut up. And, oh, by the way, they're benefiting from that silence. And they're not even paying for it. Either the quote-unquote tax-paying sheep are paying for it directly, or the tax-paying sheep are paying an insurance premium and the insurance company is paying for it. But ultimately, it still comes back to the sheep. So how powerful is a lawsuit win? Just because my ideas are, one, unpopular, and two, the most difficult to pull off out of all the solutions present before us, does not mean or make them stupid or foolish just because it's 1,000,000 to 1. That's a logical fallacy, all right? Either something is true or it's not. That's all I'm interested in is what can be proven true through factual evidence and what can't be. Oh, look at this.
Joseph, how you doing today? You're not gonna have a talk about your phone. I don't have it on camera.
You're not going to have it on camera?
So if you want to talk about your phone, I'm trying to help you. You ain't noticed I'm being an ass. I'm trying to help you.
I agree you're not being an ass.
Okay.
Let's not BS each other, though. We both know I don't believe that you in any way, shape, or form would try to help me unless it's also helping yourself.
No, it's not helping me at all.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you because you're eventually going to go back to Crowley, and you eventually are going to go back without the phone that you have not identified. And so if you don't help yourself, and I'm not going to play games of come over here, come over there.
What do you want to play?
I just want to have a adult conversation
okay.
with you. And I'm more than willing to talk to you about it, okay?
Where do you propose this meeting
happen?
happen?
We can have it right here. I'm just
okay.
Turn your phone off or set it down to the side, because I'm gonna offer you something that's going to help you, but I'm not going to do it in front of all the knuckleheads running around here putting cameras in my face. So.
I understand that.
Okay.
That's one thing we may have in common, is that some of these people might be knuckleheads.
Absolutely.
Is that fair enough?
And here they come. So
okay.
I'm not gonna play this game today.
So how about this? If you'd like to, so that we can keep that element away, I would be agreeable to speaking with you. I'll turn this off. I'll speak with you in that room, and they can film through the glass. Okay, so I'm going to set this up.
Okay, I don't know who that person that made that account, but that's a funny dude, man. If that's you, you're a really funny dude. You got me down pretty good. But whoever it is, that's some funny dude.
Good stuff.
It's some good stuff.
So
it ain't me, but it's some funny stuff. I'm getting a kick out of it.
Give me 60 seconds.
No problem. I'm going to go to the restroom.
All right.
Okay. Something about the Joseph again.
So if you think that that's a coincidence, I guarantee you that is no coincidence. I guarantee you. And that's all I'm going to say about this now, because I don't want to give them more of what I'm thinking at this moment. I will finish this video. Don't worry. But I have to turn this live stream off now, soon, right? And then I'll pick it back up and finish the video. May I have your attention, please? May I have your brief attention, please? I was filming in front of the city council chambers. I was filming just now in front of the city council chamber door, and the chief just came out and said he wanted to speak to me about my phone, but that he wanted to turn this off and keep certain people away. We came to an agreement where I'll go into the room with them and meet with them. We'll close the door, and then those who would like to, I'm certainly not putting any expectation on any individual here, but if you'd like to, you can film through the glass so that I don't get jumped.
Will he allow me in with you
No.
without any equipment?
No, just me and him.
Okay.
I'll be happy to stay in that. Okay, so
We can do the foyer, the lobby there, the first one.
you can go in the front lobby, or you can, you'll best be able to protect me if you film through the commission doors.
Yeah, inside, right?
Yes, but I'm the only one that can go in. No. Well, those cameras will protect me. You can live stream with those cameras on the outside. I don't think anything's going to happen to me, especially with those cameras pointing in at me through the glass. What's the point? Right. Oh, I've got a recorder up here and a microphone right here, so we're good. Yeah. He won't accept them if they're not notarized, but I'll give them in if you want.
Yeah, give you. Actually, I'll just take care of it.
If you want, I will. No hesitation.
This one's done. I gotta get some more information on this.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to turn off my phone here right quick. I'm going to end the stream. I'll talk to you guys in a second.